If you ever wondered why you are the way you are, then numerology can be a great tool to help explain that. So in this video, I'm going to explain the meanings of each of the numbers in numerology, 1 through 9, as well as master numbers 11, 22, and 33. So basically, numerology is a metaphysical tool that helps decode your soul's blueprint and kind of tell you who it is that you are, why you are the way you are, what your destiny in this life is, how other people perceive you, what motivates your soul, who you are on a deeper level, and so much more. And this is all based on your birthday and the name that you were born with. The four main numbers that numerology calculates is your life path number, which comes from your birthday, which basically tells you who you are, what your strengths and weaknesses are, what you're meant to do in this lifetime. And then coming from your name is your soul urge number, which is who you are on a deeper level, your personality number, which is how people perceive you, and your destiny number, which is how you're meant to carry out your purpose in this lifetime. So if you would like a deep dive into what numerology is and what those four numbers mean more specifically, and then also how to calculate your numerology chart, then I recorded a video. I will leave that linked below so you can watch that, so you can figure out your chart. But in this video, I'm basically just going to explain the meaning of all of the numbers if you already know your chart, and you can just kind of look at what that means for you. Before we begin, I just want to say that when listening to the descriptions of these numbers, look at it from the perspective of whatever aspect of your chart you're looking at. So if you're looking to see like your life path 3, then you're going to be listening to the description of the number 3 from the perspective that this is who you are, this is what you're meant to do in this life, these are your gifts, your talents, your skills, things like that. But if you're looking to understand your soul urge number, which is, let's say, a number 6, then you would look at the meaning of the number 6 from the perspective that this is who you are on a deeper level. This is what drives your soul. This is what motivates you on a deeper soul level. So just look at it from the perspective of whatever area of your chart that you're looking at. Also, real quick, if you wanted to organize your numerology chart and put it into like a little book so that you have all of your information in one place, then check out my What's Your Sign. It's an astrology journal, but there's also a numerology section in here. So if you know your sun, moon, rising, all of those signs, there's a little space for you to record all of that information. Let me show you. This is your astrology side, and then we have a numerology side as well to record all the things about you so that you can remember. And this is also for recording your friends' charts as well. So the people in your life that you care about, if you want to know all of their astrological placements and their numerology chart, it's all in here. And I also have instructions on how to calculate your numerology chart. So everything I explained in this video and the previous video is in this journal, and also explanations of everything I'm explaining in this video in a little section here, what the meaning of the numbers are, planets, sun signs, all of that. So if you want to check that out, go ahead. It's on my website. Thank you so much. If you do, let me know if you enjoy it. Okay, so let's get into what each of the numbers 1 through 9 mean, as well as master numbers 11, 22, and 33. Again, I explained all of this in my previous video, so I will leave that link below so that you can understand how to calculate all of this. Okay, so if you're a 1 life path, then you came to this earth to embody the energy of a pioneer. Okay, you are very original, very unique, very authentic, individualistic, very much you beat to the drum of your own rhythm, whatever that saying is. You dance to the beat of your own drum, okay? Like you literally, you're very creative, you're very inventive and innovative. You kind of are a loner, like you stand alone, you are okay being alone, you're very independent. You definitely stand out from the crowd. You're very bold, courageous, motivated, determined to go after what you want. You have leadership energy. You're very confident, okay? You kind of have this like sense of authority to you. You're very unique. So if I had to relate this to like an astrology sign, I would say it's most closely related to like Aquarius and Aries. But you're basically a natural born leader. You're an innovator. You're an initiator. You start new things. You have a soul that craves independence and originality. You're kind of like a trailblazer. You want to carve your own path. You go off the beaten path. You do things differently. You think for yourself. You're very creative, so you want to create new things in this world. You're not meant to follow the crowd. You're here to lead. At your highest, you're inventive, you're inspiring, you're bold, you're courageous, you take action. But some of your soul lessons might revolve around a fear of failure, self-doubt, or a tendency to isolate when you're misunderstood. So like take a lot of space and time to yourself. You may struggle with feeling unsupported by other people, or like this feeling that you have to do it all alone because you are so independent. Your growth comes from standing in your power without ego and to lead from authenticity rather than force. At your best, you shine as a trailblazer, one who breaks barriers, uplifts others, motivates others, inspires others, and changes the world simply by being fully you. So being authentically fully you. Okay, so if you are a 2 life path, then you are sensitive, soft, very balanced, harmonious, seeking beauty, love, romance, partnerships. You're very diplomatic, very empathic, peace-loving, cooperative, gentle, supportive. You're emotionally intelligent. I'm also looking at my notes here. Very intuitive, psychic, even very spiritually attuned or connected, patient, adaptable. Very kind-hearted. It's like more gentle energy. This is divine feminine energy. Whether you're a guy or a girl, doesn't matter. It's just like this more feminine energy. You have like a quiet strength about you. It's not in your face. It's very like cooperative, okay, very balanced, very unifying. So you're probably really good at mediating conflicts, bringing people together, resolving situations between 2 people. You would probably make a great life coach, counselor, therapist, just somebody who kind of brings peace and harmony amongst like a group or between 2 people or between you and another person. You're able to see kind of like both sides and perspectives. You're very relational, very intuitive. You get along well with people, like one-on-one connections are really important to you. You are very emotionally connected to other people, very attuned emotionally to other people. Like I said, you're very intuitive, very tuned in to your own deeper self. You're a natural caregiver and often find fulfillment in helping other people and supporting other people, especially emotionally. So if you're looking at this from the lens of your life path, then your purpose on this earth is to bring harmony, connection, and healing into the world through your natural sensitivity and emotional intelligence. You possess a deep intuitive sense where you're able to read other people, okay? You're able to read other people's energies and feelings, and this can make you a great tarot reader or divinator or psychic or medium or light worker, healer. A lot of healers are a 2 or 11 master number life. You're cooperative, patient, you gently persuade other people instead of forcefully persuade people. Your path is not about force, it's more about flow. Some of your more negative traits could be people pleasing, codependency, and neglecting yourself to meet the needs of other people, but there's a strength in your softness too. So once you balance that within yourself and learn your worth and learn to love yourself and choose yourself first and foremost and not just give endlessly and be a martyr, your strength is actually your softness, your kindness, your gentleness, your nurturance, because you're able to unify people, you're able to bring people together and create harmony and balance in the world, in life, in your friendships, in your relationships, at the workplace. That's like one of your biggest strengths. Okay, so if you are a 3 life path, you are just the bubbliest, most joyful little person ever. I love 3 energy. 3 energy is basically just a very optimistic, happy, joyful, happy-go-lucky. They are actually quite lucky in life. They have a very lighthearted energy. They're very magnetic. They're very personable. They're really good at communication. They're very social, more extroverted, very lively, kind of chit-chatting with everybody. It's also similar to like Gemini energy. Very charming, communicative, witty, imaginative, inspiring, very playful and childlike, very spontaneous, entertaining, uplifting, colorful, bright, light, happy. This is probably one of the most like positive numbers. Not that the other ones are negative, but like just in essence of who they are very positive. Like it's very positive energy. And also if you find yourself in like a 3 personal year, that is going to be one of your most like positive, inspiring, uplifting years. It just carries with it like lightheartedness, okay? So even when you're going through something really, really difficult in life, you as a life path 3 would probably be that person who's looking at it very positive, finding the silver lining, looking at what lessons they can learn. How is this, a blessing disguised? Like I have a friend who's a 3 life path, and she actually got diagnosed with breast cancer, and the path that she took to her healing, it was so positive, like it was so empowering and inspiring, because not once did she like, play victim or like try to give up on her journey. She just was like laughing and smiling, not like it's so funny, but she was just really trying to infuse a lot of love, you know, and gratitude into her situation, and to keep the light on. Okay, so that would be something that like a 3 life path would do, or even like a 3 soul urge if you have a 3 soul number. Also, this is just like a very creative energy, jack of all trades. Like you just know a lot about a lot of things. You very artistic. You like to try this. You like to try that. You like to try that. You probably have a lot of hobbies, a lot of things going on, a lot of friends. Like a social circle is very important to you. Socializing and communication is big for you. You're very attractive, very magnetic because of your lighthearted energy. People can have fun with you. You can have fun with other people. Like you just bring. It's not so much about like you're the life of the party. It's not like party energy. It's just more like you're uplifting, you're inspiring. You're very vibrant, charismatic, socially magnetic. You have a great imagination. You're a good storyteller. You're witty, you're quick, you're funny. Basically, in your highest energy, radiate joy. Okay, you literally walk around like this little happy, joyful butterfly. You have this childlike wonder and curiosity to you, and you help other people to connect with their own inner child, to positivity, to joy, to lightheartedness. You're also quite emotionally sensitive and intuitive, and you channel a lot of this emotion and sensitivity into your artwork and to your creative endeavors. This is why you like to indulge in a lot of different projects and pursuits. Creative expression is very important to you, whether that's through communication or artwork or instruments, music, whatever. Like there's some way that you need to like let out all of this energy and creativity that you have, and this makes you very inspirational. This can make you popular, like in the public eye. You could be on social media, you could be a YouTuber, you could be just online somewhere, you could be a performer, a singer, an actor, you could be a writer, a speaker, a musician. You are basically like a light in this world, okay? And you have a voice. Communication is like, you're very good at communicating. But one of your biggest, I guess, lessons in this life is that, you know, the world might try to dim your light and the world might try to take you down because you are so positive, and a lot of people, you know, they be jelly and they hate on you because how can you be so happy and so bright all the time? And so your big challenge is to basically stay authentic and stay true to yourself and keep expressing your voice, you know, keep sharing your voice and stand up for who you are and be that beautiful, creative, wonderful light that we need in this world, despite the ugly and the darkness that surrounds you that tries to bring you down. You need to trust yourself. You need to trust your gifts. You need to trust your talents. You need to embrace them. You need to hone in on them. You need to own them. You need to let go of perfectionism and self-doubt and not believing in yourself, and be a beacon of truth and light in a world that often forgets how to feel and how to live and how to be a child and how to be curious and explore and be uninhibited. Okay, you are here to remind the world how to embrace their inner child. Okay, so if you are a 4 life path, then you are very grounded. You're very practical. You are very structured, organized. You like to know what's happening and when it's happening. You're very kind of reliable, you like things that are more predictable. You probably like to plan things. You might struggle with change and flexibility, obviously depending on other stuff in your chart, but just the 4 energy on its own is very unchangeable. It's very kind of like stuck, because if you think of the 4, it's like a box with 4 walls, and the 4 walls kind of like limits you. So you might sometimes feel a little bit rigid and limited, like you fear maybe change and like getting out of your comfort zone. Like you stay stuck in your ways and like maybe in your routines. This is very similar to Taurus energy in astrology, but it's very stable. Okay, this energy is the foundation. So you are a teacher, a builder, you're a family man or family woman. You love your home, you're a homebody. You like to create stable, solid foundations on which you can build. It's very important for you to have stability and security before you can do anything else. You're very hardworking, very disciplined, very diligent. You're the type of person that would be able to follow through every day on the more tedious tasks of life that a lot of people get bored with and don't like to do. You have the energy and the follow through energy, okay? Not just the self-starter like the 1 has. You have the follow through energy to carry out your goals and your dreams to completion. You're very detail oriented, you're very organized, you're very dedicated, loyal, responsible, reliable, very trustworthy. Like people could truly rely on you. Very systematic, very methodical, more like earthy and grounded and practical, very rooted, also more traditional, very steady. This is the energy of like slow and steady wins the race. Okay, so the 4 energy is very like earth connected, very not materialistic, but more lives in the material realm. So whereas like the number 7 would be more spiritual, mental, psychological, philosophical in your head, you're more here on earth. Okay, so like you're more down to earth. This is why you're so responsible and you're so trustworthy, is because you have that. So you probably really like your finances to be in order. You like to know where your money's coming from. You like to know when you're getting paid, how much you're getting paid. So probably, I don't know, like having a job where like your income fluctuates and goes up and down, you might not feel super comfortable with that. So you might want more of like a stable income, or a job where you can like, you know when you're going to get paid and how much you're going to get paid. You go to work like 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. It's very like traditional energy. And of course, like I said, like this can change a little bit based on other numbers, but this is the 4 energy in essence. You're a steady builder. You need to create a solid foundation in your life on which you can build. Okay, so you're probably into building a family. You might want your house to be very comfortable, cozy, luxurious, like having all of your physical needs met is very important for you. Having your family around, having money coming in is like so important. Saving money, being on a budget, being more concerned with like practical matters of life. You are the people here on earth that create order, structure, and practicality. So you are the engineers, the architects, the builders, the construction workers, the project managers, accountants, financial analysts. I'm looking at my notes here. Contractor, builder, IT, systems analyst, operations, logistics, teacher. Okay, you're also a teacher, especially math, science, or more subjects that are more practical and methodical. Military, law enforcement, government roles fit the number 4 life path. Craftsmen, so more like hands-on things, like using your hands and like being practical, manipulating like physical things. And also like entrepreneurship, but it's more of like a focus on slow, long-term growth, not like quick like build and like let's just blow up tomorrow. It's like one of those businesses where like you're really creating like a solid foundation and not something that can just fall apart, at any inconvenience. So you might not chase these flashy careers. You want to create lasting change. Just be mindful of becoming too rigid or overworked. Remember to leave space for flow and trust and surrender and connecting with yourself and spirituality as well. Not just the earth, because we are both humans and souls. But for a 4 life path, that probably would sound like woo-woo stuff. Just to sum it up, you thrive on discipline, routine, and a clear plan of action. Your energy is rooted in stability, responsibility, and long-term commitment. So you probably want to be in a long-term relationship, build a family, have a long-term job. You don't change jobs often. You don't move often. You're often seen as loyal, hardworking, and dependable. People can come to you and know that you'll be there for them. But one of the things that you struggle with is change and, becoming too rigid and stuck in your ways and not being flexible. So that's definitely something that you need to work on in this lifetime, is to be open to, new opportunities and to not fear the things that you don't know. At your best, you turn your dreams into reality, not through like a sudden flash of luck, but through hard work, patience, diligence, putting in the work, showing up every day, being persistent, being organized. And that's often how you make your dreams come true. Okay, so if you are a 5 life path, then you are a wild child, okay? You are adventurous, you're a thrill seeker, you're bold, you're courageous, you love change, you love spontaneity, you love being impulsive, okay? You could be a little bit restless, you don't like to wait for things, you just like to go. You're very dynamic, very versatile, very attractive. Like the 5 energy is probably the most attractive energy as far as like just attracting abundance to you, people, love. You're very magnetic, very sexy. There's a lot of sexual energy with the 5. So the 5 essentially is like your 5 senses, okay? So you're very, very connected to the pleasures of the 5 senses. So it's like whatever it is that like you love to see, like you have an eye for beauty, you love to be surrounded by beautiful things. You love good food. You like to taste the deliciousness of food. You might you might be prone to addictions and overindulgence. So like overindulgence in sweets because it tastes so good, or alcohol because it makes you feel so high or so buzzed, drugs, sex, you know, can have, you know, struggle with that, where you just kind of overindulge in your temptations essentially and the earthly pleasures. That could be some of the more darker aspects of the 5 life path, but you're adaptable, you're flexible, you're rebellious, you do things in your own way, you're a great communicator, you're social, very lucky energy, great salespeople, very persuasive, very like charming, like people, you know, you relate to people very easily. You're a liberator, you're a freedom seeker, you want to change, you want to travel, you want to see the world, you want to express yourself, you want to just be free. Okay, like freedom is like such a big theme for like a 5 life path. You don't want anyone holding you back, you don't want anyone holding you down, you just want to do your own thing, you don't want to conform. You like to experience life, you're very curious, freedom loving, very adventurous. Your soul basically craves variety, experience, and adventure. If you don't have this in your life, you will probably feel very unfulfilled. You're here to learn through contrast, okay? So this is why you want to travel, you want to see different languages, different people, different cultures, different places, so that you have something to compare your own life to. So often 5 life paths are well traveled. They have a really, like kind of like a higher perspective. So that's why they're so personable and relatable, because you're able to connect to other different people. You're like non-judgmental, you're open, very open-minded person who understands different perspectives. You have a quick mind, you're very adaptable, very changeable, flexible, mutable. So this is like opposite of the 4 energy that I just described. Like the 4 energy is very structured and kind of like likes its routine. It can become rigid as well. The 5 would probably die in that environment, okay? The 5 wants to move, it wants to change, it wants to flow, it wants freedom, it wants new experiences, just newness of life, okay? It craves life experience and it craves expression. You want to allow your energy to just flow freely, following your intuition, following your soul, following whatever your passions, you know, your creative spark, your sexual desires sometimes, you know, that's why it's like that could get out of hand a little bit, but you want to enjoy life, you want to experience life, you want to feel what it feels like to be human. You would be a great speaker, creator, artistic person, salesperson, working for like selling yourself. So like you'd be a great entrepreneur because you would be great at selling yourself and like who you are and advocating for yourself. You might struggle with discipline and routine and structure and staying organized and staying in one place for, you know, too long, depending on where this is in your chart. Like if it's your soul, especially like you struggle with this, or even like your destiny number and your life path. But the 5 energy is restless. It doesn't want to stay in one place for a long time. So you might have commitment issues, you know, you might have a hard time, you know, staying in a one job for too long. You know, you just want to keep changing, keep moving, keep doing something else. And you might become so restless that you want to escape. So I think one of your soul lessons is to learn to be okay with what is, okay? To learn to make whatever it is that you have to be enough for you and to not try to seek more to fulfill you, probably filling some sort of an inner void, and to really go deep inside and see what is that void that you're trying to fill through all of these external experiences and things. Yes, it is in your nature to do that, but it can get to a point where it's out of balance. So I think that's how you kind of ground yourself and come home to yourself. Another thing is to ground yourself, and it is to commit to something and stick to it and show yourself that you have discipline and you have the diligence to carry it out. You have a wild spirit, you're very impulsive, very spontaneous, love to do things, love to explore, love to go and you know, try it. You literally are here to show people what it means to be alive. And you are here to live fully, love deeply, experience all that life has to offer, and show people what it's like to be a human on this earth and to fully enjoy the human experience. So if you are a 6th life path, then you are here to create balance and harmony in your life, in your relationships, in your home, in your environment. You're basically the type of person that makes everything cozy, homey, and beautiful no matter where you are, okay? The 6th life path is it's a caretaker, very loving, nurturing, supportive, empathetic, protective, wants to be of service to other people, wants to be of service to the community. So it's very community driven. It's also very family oriented. It also represents marriage and children. So 6th life path, probably being in a nice, beautiful, harmonious relationship is really important to them. Maybe to have children or to work with children is a big one. The 6th life path is also also a teacher, so they love to teach, they love to share their knowledge with, you know, the community, the world, other people. They are also a homebody, so they love their home, they love to be at home, they love to beautify their home. This is also the interior decorator, just loves to make everything pretty and beautiful. I'm a 6 life path, just BTW. It's actually 33 life path, but reduces to a 6, and I'm also a 6 soul. So this is Venus energy. Okay, so this is Libra and Taurus energy. You're all about balance, harmony, gentleness, loving kindness, peace and love, you know, just wanting to create this harmonious energy in your environment. You tend to be more of a selfless person, more of like a martyr, so you might struggle with people pleasing and just, you know, meeting everybody else's needs before you meet your own. So that might be one of your journeys in life, is to know your worth, because Venus does rule self-worth, and to know that you are also deserving of, you know, reciprocation and receiving love and kindness and all the things that you give to other people in the world. You also deserve to get it back. The 6 life path is also about like balance and justice in the world. So they want to create fairness, justice, peace in the world, and they really cannot handle when there's injustice taking place. This is something that's really difficult for 6 life paths, so oftentimes they dedicate their life to, you know, serving humanity. Okay, doing something that brings more justice into the world, you know, standing up for the needy, the vulnerable, like people who need help, healing. Okay, so these are healers, therapists, counselors, life coaches, teachers. They are a mediator, they are a peacemaker, because the 6 is also about like balancing the scales of justice. Okay, so it doesn't like it when things are off and not reciprocated. Like reciprocation and mutuality is very important for a 6 energy to feel fulfilled. They are the ultimate caretaker. They take care of their friends, their family, their pets. They're just nurturers. Like they will be like the best mother, okay, or the best father, the best sibling. You know, the 6 is like the most loving energy, I would say, that will definitely make sure that everybody knows that they are beautiful and worthy and loved, and they will validate other people. Like they are the givers. Okay, like the 6 is such a giver, selfless energy. Like if you're in a relationship with a 6 life path, you are good, because 6 life paths love to be in relationships. They're great at being in relationships, and they make everything very equal and balanced. Okay, so there's not a lot of like selfishness in that energy. The 6 energy is also about responsibility. So as a 6 life path, you're very responsible, and you take care of your duties and your tasks that you have, you know, to do. Some things that you may struggle with are perfectionism, because you do like everything to be so beautiful and so aesthetically appealing. You might become obsessed with beautifying things as well as yourself. So you probably are the type of person that likes to make sure that you're always looking cute, your hair's done, your makeup is done, your nails are done, you know, you're done up, like you look presentable to the world. You want to look in the mirror and say like, oh, I look beautiful. Okay, and you also really enjoy seeing beauty in other people as well. This might make you a little bit superficial, or maybe judgmental of yourself, or maybe even of other people who are not as beautiful as you want them to be, or even like things. But honestly, this is the dark side of the 6 life path, because like me being a 6 life path, and I'm tuning into like how I am when it comes to beauty, I have this ability to see beauty in everything. Okay, and that is one of your biggest gifts as a 6 life path, is that you're able to see beauty in the unseen. So something that might be seemingly kind of like more ugly or unappealing, you can still find beauty in it. Beauty isn't always physical. It could be, you know, deeper. It could be inherent beauty. You find beauty in the experience. So there is this optimism and like gratitude that you carry throughout life, and seeing things for the beauty that they are. But you definitely are more drawn to like aesthetically appealing, more physically beautiful, you know, conventionally beautiful even things, people, attires, appearances, things like that. So that might be something that, if it's out of balance, that you need to, you know, work through. But because you are the sign of balance, I feel like you don't really go off the spectrum too much. Like you always like try to bring things back into harmony. You also are quite sensitive, so whenever there is conflict around you, or whenever there's injustice, or you know, there's like a harder struggle that you're going through, something that isn't beautiful and peaceful and graceful and harmonious, this might be quite a difficult experience for you, because you love peace, you love quiet. okay? When there's chaos around you and things are just like all over the place, like even like your house is messy, you know, or there's just arguments, that's something that doesn't feel right within your soul. So either, you know, those situations, you usually would come in and try to save the day, okay? So act like the rescuer, and you're doing it because you want to create peace and harmony in this situation, oftentimes at the sacrifice of yourself, okay? So in those situations, you need to recognize, like, can I actually help this situation? It's my responsibility, because you're also all about responsibility and taking responsibility for things. But sometimes certain things are not your burden to carry, and you have to recognize that and separate yourself from that situation. Find your own peace, take your own space, you know, go into your own solitude and let that situation figure itself out, you know, because you can't always save everyone and you can't always fix the situation, but it is your tendency to go and try to like mediate and bring peace into a situation, which is also a beautiful gift that you have. You just have to know when to use it and when to protect yourself. So one of your bigger lessons in life might be to learn healthy boundaries, to say no to people, to, you know, choose yourself and not neglect yourself over the needs of other people, not jump when your husband or your wife says, you know, they need something. Just like kind of put up like healthy boundaries and honor yourself first and foremost, and then take care of everybody else. But you naturally are just a lover, okay? Like, you just care so deeply about other people. You're so nurturing, you're so understanding, you're such a safe space for people, okay? People feel comfortable being in your presence. And this is something that is such a strength, you know? There's just like you bring this sense of comfort to other people. You beautify their life. You add value to the world. And this is something that you should really be proud of yourself for. And again, like, do it with balance, honoring yourself just as much as you know, nurture other people. But ultimately, you basically bring unity and harmony into the world around you. If you are a 7 life path, that makes you a very, very spiritual, philosophical, intellectual, mental, intuitive, introverted, and just like a thinker, okay? So the 7 energy is about introspection and about going within, retreating to within yourself to find answers. So this is somebody who is a lifelong learner, always trying to find answers to things, truth seeker. Okay, this is about the truth and finding the truth. Whether that be through, you know, science, religion, philosophy, spirituality, whatever. But it's basically just like seeking a higher truth. And this is somebody who is very, very high-minded, and they have a lot of wisdom. They are a truth seeker, okay? This is a person who's very mysterious. This is somebody who's more secretive, more private. They don't want everyone knowing their business. This is, I would say, very similar to Scorpio energy in astrology, but it's not the same. This is somebody who's very introverted, or more like likes to be alone, likes spending time on their own, very reflective, very introspective, kind of likes to withdraw from the world. Somebody who has more I guess like calm energy, really enjoys being out in nature, really enjoys meditation, journaling, reading, listening to podcasts. They have a really, really powerful mind. They have a really big capacity to absorb information and to learn new information. And so this is the type of person that is always searching for answers, seeking for more knowledge, information, wisdom, learning about themselves, is on a spiritual path, looking for enlightenment, looking to awaken. Somebody who just has depth, very insightful, they're very investigative. They like to dive deep. Okay, this is not a surface level person. This is somebody who goes deep into every single thing that they're learning about, every single thing that they're talking about. Their relationships are deep. The conversations that you have with them are deep. Okay, this person is going to blow your mind. They also have like an attraction to psychology, philosophy, spirituality, like I said, but also the metaphysical, also the occult, taboo, things like that. So like numerology, astrology, divination, tarot, just any of those types of subjects, the 7 life path would probably be very interested in. Like I said, they like to learn a lot about a lot of deeper subjects, a lot of taboo subjects as well, things that are more controversial, things that aren't just like known by everybody. They kind of think in their own way. They have their own mind. They're very psychological and mental people, very analytical. This is also similar to like Virgo energy. They could be a little bit more skeptical, a little bit more pessimistic, maybe because they know so much about so many things and they're just like I don't know, they're like how they're not living in an illusion, okay? The 7 life path is all about seeking the truth, no matter how bad or hard it is. And especially like spiritual truths, you know, and spiritual wisdom. And they're just like about hardcore facts, hardcore truths. And they're also like the teacher, okay? So the 7 life path, especially if this is your destiny, you are meant to be like some sort of a spiritual teacher, guru, guide, helping people to understand these things that you're learning. It doesn't have to be spiritually. It can just be you teaching whatever it is that you know. Just because you know so much, you have so much knowledge that you want to like share it with other people. So you are the seeker of truth, wisdom, and inner knowing. You have a really, really strong intuition. You're deeply introspective, analytical, spiritually inclined, driven by this desire to understand the mysteries of life, to understand the unknowns, what's beneath the surface, and the deeper meaning behind our existence. You're naturally intuitive and perceptive, and you really value solitude and reflection, as this is an essential part of your personal growth and all of the insights that you get. So like time alone is really when you have all of this deeper wisdom come to you. You have a sharp mind and you have a love for knowledge, so probably a career, you know, having to do with research, psychology, spirituality, investigation, you know, just diving deep into learning new things, philosophy, and just any field that requires depth and contemplation. You could appear a little bit detached, distant, maybe aloof, okay? But underneath that, you are such an emotional and spiritual person, okay? You have like such a spiritual depth to you, and you are a mystery to people. Like, people are really curious about you. They can't quite figure you out. They can't put their finger on you. They can't quite make you out, you know? You're puzzling to people. You confuse people maybe. And even like the people that know you very closely, like your partner, you might still have your little things where you like are private, you know, like you don't share everything. Like even your partner might feel that there's some air of mystery and like people don't know you like 100%. Because this is such a spiritual energy, spirituality is so mysterious, right? So I think that's the energy of like, I don't fully get it, but I kind of get it. Like that's that 7 energy. You're just like, that's what you carry. And so trust is so important, okay? Trust for other people to trust you, okay? Developing strong trust because of that mystery and secretive private aspect to you. But also you trusting in divine forces, trusting in the universe. This is one of your major things in life, is to trust in unseen forces, okay? To trust in things that, you know, there's no proof or there's no evidence, because you have such a strong intuition, you have such a strong inner wisdom, that like a lot of times like you know something, but because there's no proof, you doubt it. And that's like one of your biggest missions, is to just not doubt yourself, not doubt your intuition and your wisdom, and just trust it even without that proof. This is oftentimes a path towards spiritual awakening or spiritual enlightenment or self-actualization, and just like finding who it is that you truly are. This is kind of like a no bullshit energy. So you, like I said, you're a truth seeker. You just want the truth and nothing but the truth. And you're also gonna like tell people as well. You could come off a little bit cold and direct in that way. You also might feel really misunderstood by a lot of people because of this, and it might be hard to socially connect to people. But you need to just embrace your inner wisdom and who it is that you are, and try to share it with other people in a meaningful way. And like I said, teaching could be a life path for you. If you are an 8 life path, then you are a very driven, ambitious, goal-oriented, action-taking, bold, confident, larger than life person. You are a leader naturally. You go for executive roles and positions. If not in your job, then just in your life. This is the energy that you embody. You have very powerful energy. You have a very strong personality. You're very ambitious, motivated, driven, executive minded, financially savvy, all about making sure your finances are in order. So this is similar to the 4 energy, but it's kind of like a next level. Okay. So both the 4 and the 8 life path is very practical matters, material matters focused, okay, very earthly focused energy. But the 8 is just like on the next level. It's like fucking on steroids or something. Being an 8 life path, you have like this big, bold, confident, courageous energy to go after your dreams. You're a very hard worker. Stability and security is very important to you, but you are willing to do big, risky things to make that happen. So this is a very strong energy for entrepreneurship, having a big, like building an empire, being the boss of the bosses, you know, being a leader in some way, being in a position of authority, leading other people. This is something that you're very, you know, inclined towards. Very business minded, very materially focused, very money focused, also very prosperous and abundant. Okay, so you're really good with money. You really want to make sure that you make good money in life, and you probably will. And if you don't, it's probably because you're afraid to step into the spotlight or into a higher, bigger role. You're playing small. So that could be like a struggle that you have in this lifetime, or something that you have to learn, is to stop playing small and to start showing up for yourself. That's like such 8 energy. The 8 energy is also a master manifester. So this is why the 8 energy has a lot of abundance that comes to it. Okay, it's like abundance flows to you easily, but it's also the energy of karma. Okay, also the energy, like if you look at the 8, right, things, you know, what goes up must come down. You know, there's this side of things and there's this side of things, the duality, like good and bad, extremes, poverty and wealth. So there could be a lot of like ups and downs in your life that you experience, a lot of transformations. These are karmic cycles that you're going through. And so there could be moments where you're really, really wealthy and rich and you have everything that you want, and then you kind of like, it slips through your fingers and you lose it, and then you experience poverty or loss or something like that. So you might have had these moments throughout your life where you experience really high highs and really low lows. These are extremes, and finding balance, you know, between these two is very important for you in this lifetime. You're also very strategic, very authoritative, very I guess could be strict a little bit sometimes, but you just are very like direct and like straightforward, and this is how it is and this is what it is. Like I said, you have a very like strong-willed personality. So your path is the path of power, success, and material mastery. You are ambitious, driven, and you're naturally inclined towards leadership types of positions and being in power and control. So this is also, you know, the dark side of that would be exercising your power of control for bad, narcissism and things like that. So definitely that's something that you have to be careful for. But you already have this like really strong leadership sense to you, and people, you take up space, and you're okay taking up space, and people listen to you. So if taking up space in the world is something that you struggle with, this would be one of your bigger life lessons. You have really strong financial, organizational, and executive abilities. So you're good with numbers, you're good with money, you know how to manage your money, you know how to make money, you're willing to show up for work and work hard and do what it takes to make the money that you need to make. But I would say the 8 energy, as opposed to like the 4 will do everyday things like, you know, slow and steady wins the race. The 8 is more about like bigger gains, quicker growth. It's still going to put in the work and the effort on a physical level, but it uses more of like its manifestation powers to create abundance for itself. You might be tested with issues of control, authority, responsibility, power, you know, things like that, because you are so powerful and such a leader in your own right. So like, you know, you might struggle with that. So that's something that you're going to have to figure out, like how to lead people in a way that aligns with your morals and your integrity and your value system. You might also come off really intense or dominant to a lot of people. Like I said, you have a really strong personality. So your true lesson here is to use your influence for the greater good, okay? To impact people in a positive way, not just for personal gain or selfish reasons. At your highest expression though, you are very wise. You're a very generous type of person, leader, especially. You are somebody who can motivate other people, inspire other people, uplift other people through your own example, through your own vision, through your own strength, through your own hard work, through your own, you know, life and how you're living your life. And to truly turn these challenges that you go through into, you know, triumphs and victories. And this is something that you show people. So you are a very strong person, very tenacious, and other people really admire you, look up to you, and kind of want to be like you know, a lot of times. And this is why you can't let that get to your head and get to your ego, because there's going to be a lot of people who like want a piece of you. And I think humility is very important on this path for you, because you will be so successful, or you're destined destined to be so successful. If you are a 9 life path, then you are a humanitarian. You are full of love and compassion and kindness for humanity as a whole. Okay, so you are a philanthropist. You think of the bigger picture, you see the bigger picture, and you try to serve other people on a larger scale. You have a lot of wisdom. You're very spiritual. You're very wise. You are seeking spiritual enlightenment. A lot of people who are 9 life paths are seeking this a transformation, because this is also about like transformation and shedding of old skin and shedding of old ways. So throughout your life, you might have experienced a lot of transformations internally, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, things like that. But you are a very generous person, very altruistic, very idealistic, here for the greater good. How can I serve the greater good and the higher good? This is in your highest expression, of course. Even if it doesn't show up in like a professional way where you're like out here saving the world, it still shows up in your family, in your community, in your workplace. Like you really do care about other people. There is like a selfless quality to you, which is very rare to have, you know, in our world today, where people are genuinely just doing something out of the goodness of their heart. And that's you. That's the 9 energy, where you randomly do things for people because this is just something that you're doing to help them. Like it doesn't serve you in any way, it doesn't bring you anything. You're doing it just because you like genuinely just want that person to be good. Okay, it's like completely selfless, it's completely altruistic. You're very like globally focused, okay, world view, like you have a big world view, very creative, emotional, spiritual, romantic, transformative, very inspirational, inspiring transformation in other people. This energy is also about forgiveness and healing of emotional wounds. So this might be a theme in your life, or like you're just on a path of spiritual growth, personal growth. Those are things that you're always like drawn towards and inclined towards, is like to improve yourself as a person, become better, you know, step into your highest self, your highest potential. A very healing energy you have, very philosophical, and this is also about universal love, okay? Unconditional love, universal love, connecting everybody together. The 9 energy is the last number of the cycle, right? It starts with 1 and then you grow into the 9. So it's like, it's symbolically speaking, it's like gone through these whole 8 years or 8 cycles or whatever. They've already experienced those paths in life where you've gained all of your life experience. And when you come to the 9th cycle, you are a wise soul. You're an old soul. You have nothing but love for humanity because you have done all of the earthly stuff that you had to do. You've gone through your transformations. You've gained your wisdom. You've healed. You've let go. You've done all the things. And you get to the final cycle. That's your energy, the 9 energy, and you're just like, oh, you know, that's your potential. That's your potential. It's this like spiritually enlightened way of living your life. And it's also the energy of detachment, just like kind of detaching from material things. So you're probably not super concerned. Of course, this depends on what else is in your chart and all of that. But the 9 on its own is not concerned with material matters. It's more concerned with universal matters, with worldly matters of lifting humanity up, raising the consciousness of the planet, helping the earth, you know, environmentalism, philanthropy, nonprofits, charity, volunteering, like more selfless, altruistic acts, okay? Helping the less fortunate, you know, travel is a huge theme as well. So you might be a world traveler wanting to, you know, see and experience life and see different perspectives. This is also where you gain a lot of your wisdom from, is from your worldly travels and learning about different cultures and meeting different types of people. You're also the type of person that really likes to welcome people into their home and house them and help them and heal them. Okay, so you are a healer. You're like the ultimate healer. So the 9 life path is the path of the humanitarian, embodying compassion, wisdom, and a deep desire to serve other people. You have so much compassion for the world and for the suffering of other people that you're just here kind of to heal everybody. You're generous, you're forgiving, you're idealistic, you're caring, you're loving. You're driven by this like deep sense of justice and empathy. You want to see justice in the world. This, I would say, is similar to the 6 life path, but it's next level. Like the 6 life path path is more focused on community, like kind of their immediate community. And the 9 is focused on the world at large, okay, like on a larger scale. That would be like the difference, because the 6 life path is also very altruistic, selfless, wanting to serve other people. But it's usually within their community, family. It goes beyond that. It's like, it's just bigger than that, you know? Your path is also about endings, transformations, and letting go. So that could be a common theme in your life where you have major losses in your life, or you experience death, or, people close to you leaving your life, or having to change where you live, having to change, jobs, but like in a big way. So like you might have moved to a different country when you were young, or, moved to a different hometown where you were like new. So all these experiences called for you to transform and gain life experience, and therefore gain wisdom. And also learn to detach, from the material world, and to not cling onto these things in life. They're all fleeting, they're all temporary, and that's something that you are realizing as a 9 life path. You also might feel really burdened and overwhelmed by the pain of other people, okay? You might feel really genuinely like you feel their pain. You're very empathic, and so you want to help serve them and heal them and save them. But, oftentimes you have to learn how to like protect your own energy as well, because you can't save everybody, and you can't save the world at once. Like, you're doing what you're doing, and you're doing the best that you can, but some things you don't have control over. And again, that 9 energy is about releasing control, detaching. But ultimately, like in your highest vibration, you're here to connect humanity, uplift humanity, just kind of embrace universal love and bring people together through your own, energy, your own wisdom, your own love. And now this doesn't have to be like, oh my God, okay, I have to be Mother Teresa and I'm going to go change the world, like as a 9 life path. It doesn't have to be like that big and that cliche, It can be on a smaller scale, but there is always going to be a deeper calling to, like help people who are in pain, or to, even if you're not even doing it professionally, you're just that type of person that everybody kind of like can confide in and come to, and they know that you're going to give them your light and your love, and you're a healer. Like you just naturally have healing energy. Like my stepdad is a 9 life path, and he's not like professionally an activist or anything like that, humanitarian, but he is probably the most loving person I've ever met. His energy is so contagious and magnetic, and in like the most positive way, and he heals through his vibe. He's got good vibes, and he just heals through that, and that is enough. If that's all you're doing, that's already enough to heal the world, okay? So it doesn't have to be like this big thing that you're doing. Ultimately, you are a super wise, spiritual, intellectual, compassionate, empathetic person with so much wisdom that you might not even be aware of, okay? You are an old soul. You have been through a lot in your past lives, and it's part of who you are. You emanate that wisdom, and you might not even know where you got it from, or like you didn't learn this in this lifetime. Well, you just carry it with you, through lifetimes. Okay, so now moving on to master numbers. So something to note about master numbers. We have number 11, 22, and 33. They do not get reduced to one number. So like 11 would, normally be reduced to a 2, 22 would be a 4, 33 would be a 6. Now, while they still carry that foundation of that single digit, so the 11 at its, foundation is a 2, and the 22 is a 4, and the 33 is a 6, they remain a double digit. They remain a master number, because the mission of a master number life path is bigger than just 1 through 9. So the mission of a life path master number is less personal and more universal, more selfless, more altruistic, more about making some sort of a difference in the world. Okay, so making some sort of a change to humanity. So you have a bigger mission as a life path 11, 22, or 33. So that's something that's important to note. So let's start with master number 11. So you guys are super spiritual, psychic, intuitive, and here to uplift humanity through your healing powers, essentially. Okay, it doesn't have to be formally that you're doing this. This is just the energy that you embody, and you impact people in this kind of a way. Your path in this life is enlightenment, Okay, spiritual awakening, living a life true to your soul, following your intuition, guided by your higher self, connected to the universe. You're very sensitive, very emotional, very in tune with your emotions. You're a dreamer, you're an idealist, you're transformational, you're a messenger. You're here to spread wisdom. You're a light worker, you're an awakener, you're a healer. You have a healing presence about you. So if you were born as an 11 life path, especially as a life path, you were naturally born with like a heightened intuition, psychic abilities, emotional sensitivities. You might be a highly sensitive person. You have this powerful inner knowing. You always feel divinely guided. You have emotional depth to you. You are very connected to the universe. This is probably a path in life that you're going to find yourself on, is spirituality in some way, shape, or form. You have a deep sense of purpose and you often feel called to make a difference in the world. And this doesn't have to be something that you're necessarily doing, although you can be an actual healer, teacher, an artist or something like that, like more creative, or you can just do this by existing as you are and being like a beacon of hope and light and truth in people's lives and a source of inspiration, because this is like the natural energy that you carry. You have natural healing energy, so you have like a healing presence and influence on the people that you come across. However, this path isn't super easy. Being a master number, it's almost like you have this higher purpose you might feel, or like this thing that you need to achieve. And if you don't achieve it, you almost feel unfulfilled on a soul level. So unless you are honestly living true to your purpose, and doing the things that feed your soul and fuel your soul, and that's often like healing or expressing your creativity through your art or music or anything like that, or sharing your love and heart and nurturance with other people, healing, like whatever. If you're not doing something along those lines, you will most likely feel very misaligned in this life and with your path and feel kind of depressed. Okay, so there is a risk of depression here because you are not living true to your soul's calling. But your soul's calling as an 11 life path is very kind of big, I guess. It's a little bit bigger than like regular 1 through 9 numbers. And even if you're not doing something specifically to uplift humanity, as long as you're doing the work yourself, the healing work yourself, and you're building emotional maturity and gaining self-awareness, around your own like emotional wounds, mastering your emotional sensitivities, right? And just having more control over them, because you're definitely like sensitive to everything that happens around you, and transforming your struggles into strengths. Okay, as long as you're doing that work for yourself, I feel like you will feel fulfilled. Like you don't necessarily have to like do something with this as like a career, although I think that would really, really fulfill you. But as long as you're genuinely like healing and connecting with your soul, that's going to naturally emanate and spread out to other people. So once you start healing yourself, you're naturally going to be healing to other people, whether or not you're actively, healing them. But part of being a master life path is that your journey is not just personal, it's more collective, it's more universal. So it is more selfless. Like 11, 22, 33 are all going to have more selfless life paths where you're kind of here to create change in the world. That's just kind of what you signed up for. So the 22 life path is the master builder. So the 4 energy, which is the foundation of the 22, is a very practical, material-based energy, okay, very earthly energy. So if you want to watch the 4, video or whatever, go ahead and do that, because you'll get like a base understanding of what that energy is. But obviously this is like a higher next level energy with the master number 22. So it is more spiritual, but the master number 22 is the most practical of the master numbers. Okay, it's the least spiritual, I guess it's the most down to earth, because the master builder is here to create new foundations and new structures for this earth, for this reality. Okay, and that needs to happen sometimes, in a physical way. Like whereas the 11 inspires and enlightens other people, the 2 helps build the world that we need to live in. So the 22 master builder, really helps to bring goals and dreams into reality. That is your biggest gift in this world, is whatever goals and dreams that you have the confidence, the energy, the follow-through of the diligence, discipline, the structure, the methodology, the strategy, all of those things that you need to actually bring it into form, to make it a reality, to make it happen. You make shit happen. And you're here to make a lasting impact on the world through these more large-scale projects, systems, or movements that uplift humanity. So you combine spiritual awareness with grounded strategic action. While you might face a lot of pressure in this life, your soul mission is to build something of real substance with a real foundation to truly help other people. So if you want to understand yourself a little bit better, I would definitely recommend watching the 4 life path as well, because that will give you like a foundation to who you are. But this is like that other stuff that isn't described in there. So essentially, when your power is fully realized, the 22 life path brings a structure and foundation that lasts for a long time into this world, you know, those things that need to be done on a more physical, practical level, but that make lasting impact and lasting changes on the evolution of humankind. Master number 33 in numerology is the master healer or the master teacher. And these people are truly here to spread unconditional love to humankind, okay? They are highly compassionate, highly selfless, spiritually evolved. They have this healing energy about them, very nurturing, very emotionally intelligent, very empathetic and empathic, inspirational, uplifting, very expressive. These are the spiritual teachers, the counselors, the healers, the light workers. They're very humanitarian, protective, bring harmony into this world, graceful under pressure, and they are here for divine service. So if you are interested in learning a little bit more, I would definitely watch the 6 life path portion of this video, because that will kind of give you like a base understanding of the 6 energy. But this is next level. So like the 6 life path is already like a healer, teacher, all of these things I described, but being a master number, it's like your purpose is to genuinely be of service to other people in a big way, to transcend people's fears, to raise their level of consciousness, bring awareness, help it with emotional healing, things like that. And if you don't fulfill that purpose, there's a high chance that you're not going to feel fulfilled in this lifetime. So I'm actually a 33 life path, and I feel this calling in my soul to help people, to change the world, to bring peace into people's lives in whatever way that I can. I mean, obviously I'm sharing a lot of my information and wisdom here on YouTube, and I do a lot of things in my personal life as well, and I can't not do it. The calling is so strong that I feel like there's no other path for me than to do this. Like if I wasn't doing this, there would be no purpose to my life. And that is what I'm talking about. That is master number energy. Like when you have that, it's like you can't not do it. Like your soul won't let you not do it. And if you don't do it, you're probably going to be faced with, depression or anxiety or stress, or trying to like numb and distract yourself from your purpose. And it's going to create all sorts of issues and problems. You are here to embody unconditional love, compassion, and deep wisdom that you've gained through lifetimes of experience and hardship, and also this lifetime. You are here to emit all of that, however you do it, okay? Whether you're actually teaching, but it is the teacher, okay? So for me, for example, being a 33 life path, like I have always been a teacher in my whole life. Like when I was a little girl, I would come home from school and I would basically mimic everything that my teachers did that day, and my mom would know everything that happened in school because I would literally repeat everything that happened in school pretending to be the teacher. So I would play teacher. That was like my favorite hobby as a child. And then later on in life, I became a teacher. I went to school, I got a teaching degree. I was actually a teacher in school teaching children. And then I decided to teach online and bring my stuff online. And I mean, I'm teaching numerology, and it's in my element and I love it. And so I think teaching is definitely a strong suit for a 33 life path in whatever form that you want to do that. But the 33 energy is deeply intuitive, very empathic, very emotionally expressive, and you have a natural gift for counseling, mediating, bringing peace into a situation, artistic expression, teaching. And 33 life paths also have this like deep calling to heal other people's pain. Like they're so empathic that they feel other people's pain, and then they want to like go and help and heal it. If you watch the 6 life path video, I talk about that in there, but also here is like one of your missions is also, so it's kind of different because like the 6 energy has a tendency to become a martyr, okay, and to help everybody else and neglect themselves. So people-pleasing tendencies, things like that. And so that would be one of your soul lessons, is to learn to not do that. But as a master number, 33 life path, it's like your soul's mission is to help people. It is to choose people, over yourself. Sometimes that is literally selflessness. So I think it might be even harder to practice choosing yourself on this journey because you feel a divine calling to help the world and humanity. And that has, for me, been one of my hardest struggles. I'm learning to build my own self-worth and to heal those wounds that come from this tendency to people please and to save others and take away their pain, and feeling responsible for how the world is and how other people are behaving, and take it upon myself and absorb their energy. It's really difficult, because you do have this, you're an empath probably, right? So you feel the energy of the world. And so protecting your energy is very important, and learning how to find balance between helping other people and giving to other people, and also giving to yourself and giving all of that love back to yourself. So the 33 life path requires a lot of self-sacrifice, because you are, in a way, you're very, altruistic and selfless, and you care about other people and you feel their pain. So you want to help them take away their pain, but at what cost? Okay, so this is your big lesson in life, is don't abandon yourself at the cost of other people. And this is going to be an even harder lesson for you to learn, because you are a master number, which is naturally called to a higher purpose and service. So your soul wants to help people. You can't not. But you have to also help yourself. You have to save yourself first, okay? That's like a very important lesson that you have to learn. You have to balance your own needs while also helping humanity and helping other people. But when you're aligned, and when you are still honoring yourself, choosing yourself, taking care of yourself, and you're coming from that place, you genuinely radiate the brightest. You radiate love, joy, positivity, unconditional love, and healing energy to everybody around you, because you are healing yourself and because you are giving that love to yourself as well. So self-love is a huge thing on your journey, so that you can stay in this high vibration of being this master fucking healer and master teacher, okay? I don't know who has made it to the end of this video, unless you're a 33 life path, because that was the one that I just finished. But thank you so much for watching this video. Please let me know if this resonated with you or helped you understand yourself better. Please let me know if you would like any other videos on numerology. I have a few more coming out shortly, but if there's other videos that you want to learn more about, or if you are interested in getting a numerology reading with me, I'm thinking of maybe offering that service. Let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to purchase my manifestation candles, they are so cute. Manifest your dreams with crystals in them, and then manifest abundance and prosperity. I made them myself. You can check that out on my website, and I'm sending you so much love. Bye.